So I'll run through some of the main elements of the GPA, just so you can understand the basis on which this FTA builds. So again, the main one, as I mentioned before, is national treatment and non-discrimination. So suppliers from, let's say, one party will not be discriminated against if they bid for a covered contract in another party, in another party's territory. There are also provisions on the procurement process to make sure it's transparent and there's open competition. And again, there is a domestic review clause, so you can challenge if you think that the agreement has been breached. And this can lead to compensation or procurement being rerun. But remember, this only applies to procurement which is covered by the agreement. So if a party or a country has decided not to cover a certain type of procurement, these rules will not apply. So I'm sure, as you can imagine, when a country decides to join the GPA, there are a huge amount of negotiations because countries want them to cover as much procurement as possible, but they obviously want to give a competitive offer. And potentially some countries want to retain space for domestic policy reform and want to retain space to be able to award certain contracts to local suppliers, depending on the policy of that country. But broadly speaking, it's worth saying that the UK and Australia already have pretty open procurement systems. So for example, the UK government's policy is not to discriminate against foreign suppliers anyway, but instead to focus on value for money. So we would always look at the tender, the bid which has the lowest cost, rather than focusing on where the bid has come from. So particularly for procurements being run in the UK, the main benefit of the GPA and also of the UK-Australia procurement chapter is the legal certainty that it provides and the fact that suppliers can challenge the outcome of a contract award. So even if procurements, UK procurements aren't covered by the GPA, chances are you're not going to be discriminated against if you bid for it. But you will not have the legal certainty that you absolutely won't be discriminated against. And if you feel that you have been, there are not those kind of international legal remedies that you have at your disposal. So the main point of the GPA is that it provides that real legal certainty.